It's September the 8th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, and it's time to get in the weeds. TheJoelPearl.com on Blue Sky. It's usually in the middle of what I'm saying, but sometimes it hits the tag. Anyway, it's a marvelous Monday. A busy day. Lots to talk about from a not-so-busy weekend in wrestling, but I'm sure we'll get through it all. Jeremy Lambert is here. Football back, football done. Glad we came in for a season. How you doing, pal? He froze right as I did the throw to the intro. That's amazing. There you are. You're back.
Allegedly.
How you doing?
I'm alive.
That's a start.
Yeah.
It's usually how I answer the question when people ask how you doing, and I'm like, oh, I'm alive. It's a start.
Yeah.
Then usually they're like, all right, I'm going to go away now and never talk to you again. I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea too. I feel a lot better now. Oh man, we got a good show today. We always do, but this one is a little more fun. We're going to welcome Tara Calloway to the show at 11 a.m. She's the wife of Jeff Cannonball. For those who maybe have been following or maybe you know the story, Jeff was recently diagnosed with ALS. There is a Big Cannon Brawl event that Janela and friends are putting on Sunday, September 14th in New Providence, New Jersey. But Tara went and she wrote a book called My Daddy is a Wrestler, which you can get on her Big Cartel. We actually linked it in the description of today's show, so you can go and support the book there. But she's going to join us. The plan is 11 a.m. Eastern to talk about the book and talk about everything that's going on in their life, because certainly a big change given the circumstances. But the book is beautifully designed, beautifully written, and we're looking forward to welcoming her to chat about it.
I agree.
Okay. You'd done the booking. I thought maybe you had more to add to it because you went through Tara for this. I know the story. I haven't interacted with her, but I hear very nice things about her, and I have seen her talk about the book itself.
No, we appreciate that she's going to be on the show around 11 o'clock, and it should be a good chat.
Yeah, looking forward to that. How was your weekend? Was it a busy one? Did you do things not related to wrestling?
No.
It was all just 24 hours of just sitting and watching wrestling. That sounds miserable.
Yep.
I took my kid to the Toronto Islands for the first time. We went to what's called Center Island Amusement Park. It's a good spot for kids to go. I do recommend it. Maybe don't go for All Out weekend. Well, maybe do if you bring kids. But either way, it was fun. He had a good time. It was first time going to an amusement park, and it was nice. It's a cute little park on Toronto Island. If you are coming in for All Out and you're looking for a place to go, and you have the day, maybe not Saturday, but the day after, consider going to the islands. It's a beautiful spot to go. Go check it out. There's my sponsored ad read from the City of Toronto Parks and Forestry, recreational, whatever they call themselves. It was good. It was nice. It was. I didn't do a lot of wrestling stuff this weekend. I ended up, I watched Collision and I watched SmackDown. But other than that, it was a lot of family time, for better or for worse. But it all worked out. We did it.
That's good.
Are you upset that your football team was not good?
No,
I was going to say, that's usually par for the course, though.
Yeah, my wife asked me, it was like, how are you feeling about it? I was like, I don't have any expectations for them. I don't think they're going to be good. They weren't good. Do you want to know, what's really going on? This might get deep and personal, and I don't know if people are ready to hear all of this, but if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Nothing to do with you. You're fine.
I wasn't nervous about it being about me, but I also want to make sure that this is something you want to talk about on air, because we are fairly public facing, and I know you like to be transparent, but I don't want to put you in a compromised position if this is something you might not want to talk about later.
You ever just feel like every day is the same and it just gets kind of boring and mundane?
Yes.
And you'd rather just not be here.
Yes, there are days like that. The last part, I've never been there. I can't tell you I have. What I can tell you is that there's a plenty that I think about that changes that course. Going for a walk, seeing some different people, getting out of the routine. Because I know what it's like to be stuck in that routine and feeling like it's never ending. By the way, this is not an ad read for a service. But it's an honest conversation because I've hit those lows too, and they are not easy. But I also know you. I also know that you've got a pretty damn good support system.
Yeah. I'm not saying I don't.
I
I'm
know.
just saying, like, I don't know. Some days are just tough. And I don't know if today's tough. I don't know if this month has been tough. I don't know if these few weeks have been tough. Just kind of over life.
I've been there, and chat's definitely feeling it. You got out of bed this morning. That's usually the first step to sticking around.
Unfortunately.
Fair. Yeah, there's nothing I'm going to say there's no magic antidote. It sucks to be sad, and it sucks to feel down, and it sucks to be in a rut. That's the most straightforward way I can say it without making you feel, or anyone else who's feeling this way, like we wouldn't care about you or care about
I know
the
people
situation.
care. I know people care. Like, I'm not trying to, like, oh, please care about me and please show me how much you care. Like, honestly, that makes me feel worse, which I think also makes me feel worse. Is I'm just like, it'd be cool if people didn't care. And then, like, I'd have a reason to just go away.
Well, you ain't allowed to. That's my feeling right now. You ain't allowed to. I don't think any of us would allow it either. How about that? Hey, it's my anniversary tomorrow, so at least for that, you gotta stay. You ain't going nowhere.
My anniversary is in a month, so my birthday's in a week.
See? What was that? No, damn it. I said C, and Siri was like, "Hey, that's me," and I'm like, "No, it's not you. Go away." Stupid performance assistant. Performance is nothing, and performance is weak. There you go. Next week. So look at that. You know what? It's my brother's anniversary today. Little son of a you know what decided to get married, a day before my anniversary last year. So congratulations to him. And to ream him out for that. Hey, happy anniversary, jerk. He's not watching. If he is, I'm about to get a text message, but love him dearly. Happy anniversary to me and to him. Violet sent a super chat saying, "Hey man, I've been there over the last weekend too. I'm with you." I think a lot of people in the chat can commiserate and feel you, and they go through it. We all do.
My apologies, everyone. Not exactly what I'd like to do on this show, but I'm also not going to hide who I am and how I'm feeling, so.
Don't. We've built this show on transparency. We've built our brand on transparency. Why would we start hiding now? Wait a minute. Why wouldn't we start hiding now? Quick, start hiding things. No, I can't do it. What do you want to talk about? And people saying you don't need to apologize.
Whatever you want, Joel. Like, clearly I'm not in the best headspace today, so.
I've offered it to you in different headspaces. Do you want to hang out today, or do you want to take some time to lie down and do your thing?
Yeah, I mean, Tara's coming on the show. I don't want to be unfair to her and everything. I'm not gonna lie down and do nothing. That's the problem. Is if I do nothing, I hate myself more for doing nothing. But then if I do my normal routine, I hate myself more for just doing a normal routine. Basically, I just hate myself, so I can't really escape that.
Ken sent a super chat saying life is super rough sometimes. Better to be open and honest about how you feel. Hang in there, dude. There's the sentiment. Hang in there. We ain't going nowhere. Hey, if I have something to say about it, you ain't going nowhere.
No, I was gonna make a suicide joke, but let's not do that about
That's what
hanging.
I'm trying
So
to say. If I have anything to do about it, you ain't going nowhere. Look at my filthy ass leaving folded laundry on the back table. What's wrong with me? What's wrong with
plus my wife, who's standing here, is probably very concerned and is like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" No, she doesn't think that, but I'm sure she is very concerned.
I get it. All I'm saying,
Yeah.
not that kind of hang. Oh my gosh.
Thanks.
You I do the I split the laundry with my wife. I do. We split a lot of things. Laundry, I do the dishes mostly. I do the cooking and I do a lot of the dishes. She does most of the laundry. I sometimes fold it when we have moments. Moments of like we have downtime and I'm just sitting and doing nothing. So I'll go and fold laundry. You got to understand, my wife works incredibly hard, does a lot of things. So I pick up the slack at home, or at least I try to. My kitchen's a mess. If you saw my kitchen right now, you would all collectively slap me and say, "What is wrong with you?" It's dirty ass dish central. I hate it. After the show, I'm spending so much time cleaning my kitchen. Jeremy, you want to come back here and clean my kitchen for me? Because I could use help. It's a small kitchen. You've seen it, but I could use.
No, our kitchen is not in the best shape in the world right now. 12 kids. Their kitchen is gonna get in rough shape. Yeah, long weekend. So
Plus, all these damn kids are growing. And the worst part about having growing kids is that they eat so much and it's just one plate after another. And it's like, no, just use the same plate. Reuse your plates. People, reuse your plates when you can.
I don't know about reusing plates. That doesn't seem great.
I'm all about reusing plates, depending on what it is. If I just like had some bread or some toast, yeah, I'll reuse that plate. Just get the crumbs off and restart. Sometimes you rinse it off, take a towel, just wipe it down. You're fine. Just don't cook raw meat on that plate and then eat it, because that would be too much. Don't do that. Don't have like a full ass pizza and then, have some ground beef on it. Don't do that. You have to hide food, Grace said. Brother, I have done the same. You know what? That's a sign of junk food addiction. Be careful. Be careful to yourself. Don't be a paper plate guy, Cyclops. We're trying to save the environment.
It's styrofoam plates.
Jeez, that's even worse.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I could let you do that. That sounds like a really bad idea.
Nah, fair.
What made you smile at wrestling this weekend?
I like the AJ Lee return was cool. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and act like I care at all about wrestling right now. So, I mean, if anything, wrestling has become just a burden and just, especially this, like, there's obviously fun parts with everything. I don't have anything. I don't really have a whole lot. Like, I feel like I'm, letting everyone down right now, because I'm sure people are excited about AJ Lee's return and like Collision was a good show and everything. Like, I watched it all. I covered it all, and maybe that's why I don't care as much, because I watched it, I covered it, and like I just would rather do anything else than wrestling right now.
Do you want to go for a run?
No, I don't. It's too cold out, and honestly, like, I'm not even in like a run headspace. Like, you ever just feel like every decision you make is just wrong? Even like a simple decision?
Yeah, man.
Like, the decision can be just like, oh, I had cereal for breakfast. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm like, well, why didn't I have waffles for breakfast? You know, just like everything's the wrong decision. So, no, look, the AJ Lee return was great. As much as I said, maybe don't do it. Just make the first appearance at WrestlePalooza. I think they hit it right because they were in Chicago. So maybe if they weren't in Chicago, it doesn't hit as hard, but they were, and it all worked out. They weren't gonna tease anybody any longer. So it was a cool moment for the fans that like really cared about that. Not saying like I didn't care, but I said on the show like I wasn't like some AJ super fan. Like a lot of people were. I recognize her place in history. I recognize her importance, but I'm not a super fan of any of these people. So I don't. I recognize the cool moments, but outside of you know certain things, there's only going to be so much of like, oh man, you're not going to catch me on a reaction stream, is what I'm saying. Like, yelling and screaming and breaking stuff, unless. Although WWE would actually maybe put me on TV, unlike TNA, since they just didn't use that at all. But no, it was cool.
None of those got used.
Yeah, because TNA just,
They're like the me of wrestling. Great ideas, no follow through, minimal follow through. You should. I mean, you saw the spoilers. You saw what they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that. Oof. That main event. The one that main event is going to be a main event. Let me tell you. Yeah, Volib's pointing out, you did the AJ Styles Slammiversary reaction, and they couldn't even put you on TV for that. The AEW put you on TV, and look what it did for their numbers.
Yeah, they should give me a full-time deal.
They should put you in the front. You'll become the new green shirt guy. Call you like OKC guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll be the OKC hat guy or the Danielson shirt guy. I'm sure they didn't sell too many of those, so.
I wish they brought those around on tour because I would absolutely put me in the front. Put me in the front. I'll become Danielson shirt guy.
Maybe maybe now that he's on commentary full time, they'll start selling them again.
I was thinking about you when they announced that Danielson's coming back full time. Well, I think about you frequently, just not in the shower. Don't ask me to think about you in the shower. But the announcement that Danielson was coming back to commentary full time was one that made me think, going back to like, you'll never be a reaction streamer. I'm like, this is one time where Jeremy should be a reaction streamer, where he sees it and does like the over the top. We talked about like throwing a chair out the window type of thing. This would be one of those moments. And I thought that would be very funny, but a bit as a reaction streamer, I think would be hilarious. Just point the mirror back at some of them. I think about this frequently with the reaction streamers. I want them to, first of all, if you are a reaction streamer, I want you to understand, I do not dislike you. I don't hate you as a person. I think what you do is the content you want to do, and that's all good, and people get behind that. People want to enjoy it. That's great. It's not for me. For some of this is not for me. The over-the-top manufactured reactions sometimes really turn me off, and that's me. Some people are like, they live for it, and all the power to them. Henry saying Joel hates you. It's okay, Joel. No. I do dislike everything, but I can't get behind overselling. Which is hilarious because it's the antithesis of wrestling, is the idea of overselling for your opponent. And that's what a lot of these reaction streamers are doing. They're overselling a moment. So like the AJ Lee return, some people were having legitimate reactions because they loved her as a character, they loved her as a person, whatever your reasoning is. But then there are some people who are like, I just got into wrestling this year and I've never heard her name, but I know she's CM Punk's wife and that's good enough for me. And for that, it's just like, but you also you turned it up to 100 for this. And it's a little, for that, it's like a little shady. You know what I mean? I don't like that. But gets you on TV, damn it, every time.
Yeah, I know a couple of reaction streamers. I don't know if it's all, I don't want to say performative to me, but sometimes I don't know if like it's a real reaction or if they're just being over the top for being over the top. And they all seem like nice people and everything. Like I don't have any issue with them, but I just don't know. Like reaction streaming, and this is not just in the wrestling space, mind you. So I don't want it to come off as just like wrestling people. Reaction streaming just isn't for me. Like I don't have the desire to sit there and watch another person's reaction. Like that does nothing for me. I could just watch the show myself and just enjoy the show. I think there's something to be said for like watch alongs and stuff where you like do that. I think there's a place for that. We do it with bad wrestling matches, and our friends do watch alongs and everything. But when you kind of just become known for your like reactions and over the tops and let me clip that, like I don't know how much you are just watching the show to like watch the show with your friends, or if you're just watching the show so you can just make silly faces and yell when things happen. I mean, we used to do watch along on this, and then
And it sucked for the. Well, no, it didn't suck. It was different.
I mean, I drink a whole thing of what was that? Mountain Dew Coke Black.
Yeah, pitch black.
Yeah, pitch black. Yeah, and so like we got that bit out of it at the very least, but sometimes I just don't know with if like they're putting something on, or if they're just some of them I think are genuine, some of them like do have that kind of reaction to things. But then I also think like, all right, if your reaction to AJ Lee returning is this, like you can't give me that same reaction if just like Sami Zayn beats Solo Sikoa for the US title. Like it's a cool moment and stuff, but let's not scream and shout and throw a bunch of things when this happens. So
It's levels, not levels of the game, but like volumic levels. Some things are worth
right,
a
like
10, and some things are worth a 7.
right, like people know that I'm a sports fan, and regular season game. All right, I'll get to one level for a regular season game, good or bad, and then playoffs I will get to a completely different level. Finals, championships, I'll get to a level even above that. Like I can't manufacture a reaction in like if I'm just watching like a regular season game. Honestly, like if it's like depending on the game, like maybe the first game of the Thunder season, I'm like, all right, well, let's win this game and everything. But if it's a regular season game in December, I'm like, all right, let's give a little cheer, get into it a little bit. But I can't manufacture a reaction of, oh, that was so crazy, because it's like wrestling when if you do 360 flips in the mid-match show, what are you saving for WrestleMania? That's my old-timey take.
Yeah, you're gonna start complaining about dives, old man.
Yeah.
And again, like so Zeno, I was pointing out a few reaction streamers in the chat who they think are good. And for the record, I agree with those names. I'm also lucky enough to have met, interacted with all these people as well. So like, I can't tell you that I have any issues with them as people. Again, nice people. They do a good job. They have a lot of fun at these shows, and they're also they're interacting with their chat in a certain way that's also very much like it's organic, and that's what I really want to see. And I think, Jeremy, you make a good point when you're talking about some who do a big reaction to do a short or to do some sort of clip that they can send out for whatever, reaction to it, reactions to the reactions. But also, we are in a different way guilty of the same thing, where we will play up one thing for a bit to then use it as a promotional or marketing tool for our show in a short or a long form conversation video that we put out separately. So it's like it's a weird conversation, and I think it's exacerbated by us in our role sharing the space with the reaction streamers in their role, because there was a time where some of them were doing the post show pressers with us, us being the people who do like news reporting and things like that. And for that, it always felt a little strange because we may not be over the top reaction streamers. Again, our watch alongs were conversational. They were bits, and they were silly, and we just watched the show and like just made fun of stuff. And also all tried to get on the same page when it came to syncing up time so that no one was ahead of the other. That was a whole other thing. The wild time trying to do a watch along and all those. Instead, we did things differently. We never had huge reactions to stuff unless something was legitimately shocking. But these guys and girls are a different breed, and that's the way that they present themselves. And you know what? They're seeing success because of it. Good for them. But like I said, it could never be me. It's just not my way of consuming media. We've joked about it before. The people have said, "Oh, why don't you do a watch along of XYZ?" And I'm like, "You want to see what that's going to look like?" Cool. Good for them. That's the extent to which you will get out of me at most of these events. Come see me at All Out and watch how I react to the wrestling. It's going to be a lot of like, all right, okay, let's get to the heat. Okay, now they're going to hit this move. Didn't I tell you they're going to hit that move? They did the thing. And then me pulling out my phone and taking notes. Oh, got to ask that in the presser later. I am a professional's professional. Well, I do my job. Henry, you could make the joke about me hating AEW. I sat in that WWE press box at WrestleMania, and I was taking notes while watching on Netflix and not paying attention to the actual show in front of me because I couldn't see or hear shit. Me watching TNA is a funny time, though. Oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I would say, what do you react to in TNA?
I sat when I went to those TV tapings in Brampton. I was with a friend who is not in wrestling but is adjacent to wrestlers. So he and I were sitting there having the funniest conversations about the silliest things that we knew about the wrestlers themselves. And we're sitting in the back of the venue. We're not like, we are nowhere near the ring. I had people from TNA afterwards being like, "You were here?" And I was like, "Yeah, we saw Jody Threat, Cena and Zayn at the Indian buffet down the street. That was an accident." But other than that, yeah, me going to wrestling shows is just me watching the show and being like, legitimate theater.
What was your reaction to AJ Lee returning?
I had I was happy to see her, obviously. Hashtag Jeremy. No, I'm just kidding. Because you and I talked about it. Like, how do you play it out? Do you do it in Chicago? Do you wait it out until WrestlePalooza? And they were like, no, we're getting right to it. And you know what? That's the WWE moment maker machine behind it. They wanted the moment. They were in Chicago. They sold 16,000 tickets on a rumor, a very strongly implied rumor that came from all angles, not just from places like Fightful and places like Observer and all that. It also came from WWE. They were also giving you those hints along the way, more so than ever. So it made sense for her to come out there. The fans were into it. The fans wanted it. I felt I got a little emotional just because I was thinking about the moment for what it means to someone like Punk and to AJ, who both left the company under not so great circumstances all those years ago. We all know Punk's story, but for AJ, it's always been kind of over and out and not interested. And so she's back. This is clearly something that she either wanted to do or decided to do. Regardless of that, she got an amazing reaction, and I think that affects anybody. And having been someone who worked on stages and likes getting applause, adulation, whatever. Everyone likes that feeling. To get that from an entire arena is special, and she got that. And you know what? Shout out to Becky Lynch, because that was the fun. I've loved it for the last couple of weeks, where she's just slapping CM Punk around, and Punk can't do it. And she's just paintbrushing him. She's being such a little asshole, and it's so funny. And I thought that the reaction, it was over the top and it was warranted. I liked it. I liked the way they did it. Don't know what to expect from the tag match. I'm sure it'll be fun, but I think it was well done. It was a nice surprise that wasn't really surprising. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I thought they nailed the moment, honestly. And again, taking place in Chicago makes sense to do it there. I thought it was set up well. It was similar to the setup that we thought it might be of, I'm not going to hit you, but I know someone who will. And then you get the music and the big pop and everything. AJ was clearly taken in the moment. CM Punk, big wife guy, looking on very proud. So that was good to see. And all the stuff afterward too, where she's still skipping around. She got the title. CM Punk, cheering her on,
skipping along with her.
Yeah, like it was good. It was a very cool moment, and they completely nailed everything. The one thing they missed was they cut to Becky and Seth at the top of the ramp when I think Punk and AJ were kissing in the ring, and they just cut out of that moment. Very sad.
They got the kiss, but then once the lips were unlocked, they went back to Seth and Becky's reaction.
I thought the cut was a little early.
Yeah, it was a quick cut. There were a lot of those. Listen, if it had been Kevin Dunn, you would have seen 20 angles before you got to the aftermath of the kiss. The kiss would have been 13 different shots. There would have been so many takes.
I was saying, why was Becky scared? Because she knew she fucked up.
Yeah, it wasn't about.
She was scared.
Yeah, the scared wasn't. It was oh my god, it's the consequences of my own actions.
Yeah,
she wasn't scared to see AJ Lee. She was scared to see someone that was going to kick her ass because Punk said this woman can kick your ass. That's what it came down to, and her being overzealous and then being completely taken aback by basically dealing with what set her off. What's the word I'm thinking of? Her being basically called out was perfect. She, again, it's consequences of your actions.
Right. And she's kind of a chicken shit heel anyway. So exactly. It makes sense for that to be the reaction. Same with Seth in the box doing the reaction. Yeah, so I thought Becky's reaction made plenty of sense. She wasn't gonna.
It accentuates a moment, and that's what a good heel does. It punctuates the babyface coming out, getting that moment, getting that shine. They bump and look like idiots. They feed perfectly. Again, I think people need to look at how Becky and Seth operate as heels and really take stock into what a heel is supposed to do in wrestling. Well, yeah, Becky especially these days, but Seth does it too when he's working, when he's in the ring, when he's working. And even this story might also give him a few more tricks as a bad guy. I know you and I have kind of said this, but the music, the Seth music has got to change at this point, given he's a bad guy. Yeah. The fans need, I would like to see fans not sing his music and get excited to see him. If you change it, remember when he did that really shitty, when he went crazy and became the Messiah and they gave him that really shitty music? I'd like to see something like that again, where it's just music that he comes out to that's good, but it's not, cheer, sing along to it. And then that way you get rid of it. If he turns babyface again somewhere down the line, you bring it back around and they sing the damn song. But for now, get rid of it. Stick with it.
They should definitely get rid of Seth's theme, but I don't know if that's actually going to happen. Guess time shall tell on that now. But Becky sold it well. Seth sold it well. If it was Bayley coming out or Rhea, you're not going to have Becky giving the same reaction because, like she said, she's beaten Bayley. Rhea, okay, It's fine. Like the fact that it was AJ, made the reaction be a little bit more than if it was anybody else. And I did like that. On Monday she shut down the chance by being like, she doesn't work here, and then she didn't do that on Friday. I remember what her response was on that, but she just told him to shut up. I think she just told the crowd to shut up when they were
Yeah.
chanting
And then
AJ.
Punk was like, they can chant AJ Lee if they want to.
Yeah, Punk saying he's got shooters in Chicago, by the way. Hilarious.
Yeah, Tony Khan's going to bat for him, baby. And I feel like Sean's talked about this too, but like there's a level of spite that lives in CM Punk that he must love, that this is all happening in Chicago and this is the big moment in Chicago, and they're going to go, WrestlePalooza's going to go up against All Out, and it's his big marquee match with his wife. They're going to go up against All Out and everything. He's got to be tickled about this, which it is what it is. But he's just thinking to himself, like, yeah, stick it to them. But he'll never say it publicly, mostly because he's not allowed legally.
Sorry, I'm just...
No, it's fine. Ryan saying, as a Chicagoan, we hold grudges. I believe that. That's true. How's the water over that one bridge? Yeah, there's gonna be a match, obviously. The tag match at WrestlePalooza, probably tonight they'll announce it. The idea of doing Punk coming out and mentioning everyone that people thought it could have been teaming with him instead of AJ Lee, I thought that was good stuff. It gets those names out of the way, saying I could have called Rhea Ripley, I could have called on Bailey, I could have called on any XYZ person, and that's when you knew we're crossing names off the list to get to the inevitable. I thought the segment was extremely well done. I thought that it played out the way it was supposed to. It got the reaction it was supposed to. I like that the commentators laid out for the entirety of the entrance, which was fantastic. You didn't hear anything out of either Michael Cole or who was it, Corey Graves' mouth until the action started between those two women. And Zeno are pointing out Becky not saying the Bears suck when she ran down all the Chicago sports teams and then specifically leaving the Bears out. I thought that was cute. One of those if you know moments, which I think most people know by now.
I feel like at this point most people know that Seth is a Bears fan, and so Becky was going to leave them out. I understand why she left them out, but it would have been just a funny moment of like, and we all know about the Bears as well, but I can't say too much about them. She should have still like took a dig in there, because the Bears do suck. They might be the worst. Although the Blackhawks haven't been good for years. I mean, like the Bears haven't been good for years. At least the Cubs are seemingly going to make the playoffs. The White Sox really sucked last year, so they're no good. Yeah, poor Kobe White sitting ringside and just getting buried.
Oh god, I forgot that someone had like tweeted out, the best was the best player for the team is at the show.
Kobe White's probably the best player on the team. I don't have too much of an argument. I mean, Josh Giddey's not signed, so it's tough to say he's the best player on the team. Like Kobe White's a good player. That team's not good at all. Like that team just sucks. So,
Holy shit, the Jays are actually top of the AL East. Sorry, I'm looking now at baseball scores. Did you know this?
I don't keep up enough with baseball. That's of the four major sports, that is like by far at the bottom of the totem pole. Like it goes basketball, hockey. My team in hockey, football, and then like basement is baseball until like the playoffs. Then I'll start like watching some of the games in the playoffs, because I just like watching like the best teams play, and for like a championship and stuff. But regular season baseball, they've shortened the games to where they're only like 2.5 hours now, so they're much more easy to consume. But I can't tell you who's like winning games and losing games and who's actually good. I think the Brewers are good because I see our pal tweeting about the Brewers, and I know the Reds aren't very good because I partially keep up with them. I knew the Blue Jays were good because they went on like a streak for a
You're
while,
talking like
but
May, June though. That's the thing. The Jays usually have a hot streak and then they peter off. Like someone saying in the chat, like the Yankees start to fall off. No, the Jays usually fall off and then park their way into a wild card spot if they're lucky. Right now, they are top of the American League. They are top of the AL. Against the entire MLB, they're third behind the Phillies and Brewers. What the hell happened? They've lost 2 in a row, so clearly the Jays are just going to go on that month-long slide, and then we'll be back to normal. Will I go to a game? Nah, probably not this year. Another time. Insane, though. Where am I? NXT dates. Oh, they're gone. Never mind. And they're gone. They were gonna play a stadium. No, they weren't. What else? We were talking about AJ Lee. We were talking about the Bear. Then we got into football and talk. For me, it's hockey. Hockey's number one because I'm Canadian, and then it's usually baseball, and then everything else is just I don't care. And baseball, I don't even care that much. Baseball, like you said, is more of a get to the playoffs type of point. But for me, it's like, yeah, I'll watch the Jays, keep an eye on the Jays. But I used to go to more games, and then COVID and the kid hit, and I was like, nope, not happening. No more games. I'll take him when he's older, when he can actually like sit through a game. Yeah. And we're getting there. Maybe next season.
Real quickly, Tara just messaged me, and she woke up not feeling well. She a little under the weather, and so we're gonna reschedule for later in the week.
Okay.
With Tara, so I'm
gonna keep the link up in the description.
Yeah,
for the book, and we will re-add it probably throughout the week. Honestly, if you end up having her tomorrow or Friday, whatever day it is, let's maybe we'll just keep the book in the description. The link is it's taracalloway.bigcartel.com. That's where you can get the book. So very easy to find. 2 R's in her name and 1 L. So 2 R's in Tara, 1 L in Calloway. Easy to remember. TERRA, as I now spell the whole thing out after telling you how easy it was to figure it out. It's in the link in the description. Go find it and go support the book. It's the proceeds go to the family. And again, Jeff, who was diagnosed with ALS, the wrestling community has come around and really been hugely supportive. But it doesn't end with just a couple of months of support. It's going to be for the rest of his life and then their life beyond. So if you have the opportunity, it's a wonderful book. It's called My Daddy's a Wrestler, and we're going to have Tara on another day, and that's okay. So wish her the best. Hope she's feeling better soon. What else happened on SmackDown? John Cena came out.
AJ's going to be on Raw tonight. I assume they're going to announce the tag team match.
Yes.
On Raw.
Where are they tonight? Are they in like Indiana?
Milwaukee.
Oh, well, talk about professional sports teams.
Yeah, they're in Milwaukee.
Okay. And then the next week they're in Springfield for Raw, but that's the 7:00 show.
Cena's on that show, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yeah. All right. So Cena comes out in Chicago.
Oh yeah.
Huge cheers.
Yeah, thank you, Cena chance.
Yeah, listen, they now understand he's a good guy. He's coming to the end. People are excited for the end of the John Cena tour, the end of the John Cena retirement run. This is the best work that he has done of this entire retirement tour, which is very sad to say as we are in the last 3 months of the year, but it is what it is. And they gave him his flowers. And then as he's starting to leave, out comes Sami Zayn, the new US champion, and basically says, thank you, John Cena, people like you gave me opportunities. You had or you were my first match when I was called up and you were doing the US Open Challenge. He didn't mention what happened when he did that Open Challenge, but it doesn't matter. And basically said, can't do it without running it back. And he said, I'm bringing back the US Open Challenge and I want you to be the first challenger. This was after Cena was like, yeah, that's right, kid. Give it back to the young kids. Give it back. And Sammy's like, no, I want you, old man. Sammy getting booed in Chicago too.
Yeah, Sammy should have told that crowd to fuck off for booing him and not giving them the match.
I feel like that would have been the antithesis of what they wanted out of this.
They shouldn't have booed Sami Zayn when he came out. He was coming out to set up a match with John Cena, and all they wanted to do was boo him.
Bunch of
After
assholes.
that, I would have called an audible and been like, you know what? I came out here because I wanted to wrestle John Cena. I wanted to give you guys one last match with John Cena in Chicago on SmackDown. His final SmackDown ever. But you guys, bunch of disrespectful little assholes. So I'm not gonna give you this match. So just turn Sammy heel right in the middle of this segment.
I think the idea here was let's not turn Sami Zayn heel. I think people just people booed Sammy because it could have been anybody. Doesn't matter who was going to come out to stand up or not stand up, but interact with John Cena. It wasn't even an interruption either because Cena had finished his promo.
Yes.
And then Sammy came out. So it was really interesting to watch them boo Sammy. And I've seen some other people speculate that it's like, oh, it's because of the carrying cross stuff and it's because of this and that. And and it can't be the cross stuff because sure as shit ain't seeing people with "we want cross" signs or chanting "we want cross." That's not me bearing cross. Cross has shown up on other places and he's doing fine for now. With Sammy, I don't know if people think that he's like they're trying to do the Sammy Hogan shtick, which is dumb in and of itself. I just think it was a victim of circumstance.
Yeah, it didn't matter who came out. They were going to boo Sammy because Cena was leaving and they wanted more of Cena. It could have been Cody could have come out. He would have gotten booed in this spot. It could have been anybody and they would have booed him because they just wanted more of Cena. But this is why this crowd was dumb, because he was coming out to set up a match. He wasn't coming out to step on Cena's moment or anything. He was trying to give you more of Cena. Impatient ass crowd.
I'm starting to think, Jeremy, Charlotte Flair was right.
Yeah, Chicago just sucks.
Chicago just sucks. Sorry, Ryan Lambert. Chicago just sucks.
They should have just they should have just let Sammy talk. And for as smart as the Chicago crowd's supposed to be, it was online that it was going to be Sammy and Cena. So you think they would have, paid attention to the dirt sheets and saw, oh, wait, Sammy and Cena's on this show? Oh, Sammy's probably coming out here to set up that match. Maybe we should not boo him. Dork-ass Chicago crowd.
Maybe they were such a smart crowd because they're like, no, Sammy, we know what this is going to end with. And they do the match and it goes 3 segments and yada, yada, yada. Out comes Brock Lesnar and he lays out everybody. And then he goes to the back and he's like, John Cena, you, me, WrestlePalooza, bitch. And that's it.
Did you notice Cena paying homage to all the greats in the world of wrestling with his moves? He hit a power bomb, just like Kevin Nash. He hit a spear, just like Jey Uso.
Goldberg. Oh yeah, Jey Uso.
He hit the go to sleep, just like Kenta.
Thank you. Yeah, he did, Tommy.
And he hit a clothesline, just like
every wrestler in
existence.
Stan Hansen.
Every wrestler in existence who's hit a clothesline. John Cena just paying. He was going for the diamond cutter as well, but Sammy countered the diamond cutter.
Bro. They lit up my phone, bro.
He had the ankle lock. I forgot about the ankle lock, just like Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock, that's right.
He hit the Olympic slam, just like Joe Hendry.
Oh, dude. Oh, can we the call from Michael Cole on that?
Michael Cole sucked.
He had no idea. He had no idea what that. I was like, that's an Olympic slam. By the way, he was paying homage to our pal Steve Macklin. Macklin does the Olympic slam.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, Michael Cole kind of sucked in this match. I like Michael Cole, but man, he was not good in this match. No. He didn't recognize any of this stuff. When he's like, hey, the spear, just like the big dog, his battles with the former big, they're like, what? Huh?
Michael Cole is the consummate WWE fan where it's like 2 months or it didn't happen. That's all it is. I didn't miss any super chats. We just got a few to build. That's all.
Just what are you doing? Michael Cole. Like he clearly set up in the corner and even did the.
Yeah, he did the crazy. Yeah, because
he should have done the ooh.
Yes, he should have done the 3-point stance and done the Goldbergs. Like, come on, man.
He should have. He should have done the Jey Uso spear. He should have yeeted afterwards. Just hit the spear and go yeet.
Amazing. God, you know what? I never think I'm gonna say this out loud. I want a Jey Uso Stone Cold Steve Austin interaction where it's just 4 letters, 1 word, what? And they just go back and forth for all the what shit. Oh, I just want that. 4 letters, 1 word, what? Oh God. Anyway, the match. The problem is when you know what the match was going to end with, it just makes it annoying to watch this match. It's like, why do we waste our time? This is again going back to the whole, we're not going to talk about a show if the main event ends with a DQ. If this had been the main event, then we would have been like, we're not talking about SmackDown regardless of what happened. But that is what it is. Cena doesn't win the US title, and Sami Zayn doesn't give it up. Doesn't give up a pinfall.
As you would expect. Yeah, I didn't expect Cena to win or anything. It would have been fun if he won, but they're cowards and they weren't going to put the U.S. title on.
You could have done that. You could have done that and had a U.S. title. Well, then you got to deal with the Brock shit.
Yeah, but, yeah, that wasn't going to happen. It just...
this is a good point. He was paying tribute to Rhino. Thank you for spelling it the right way too with the Y.
Maybe it was tribute to Charlotte Flair and her spear.
Starting to think way too many people are doing the spear.
Oh, way too many people do use this spear. It's
a little much.
When Jey Uso started using it, like one, it doesn't look great when Jey does it, and I'm more forgiving to Jey than a lot of people are. But his spear just doesn't look very good. And like when he's using it, it's like, okay, what are we doing out here? Do we not have anything else to give Jey right now? Especially when you're doing it to Braun, and like Braun, completely just murders people with the spear. You can't be doing the spear. And maybe it was a Big Justice. Big Justice has a good spear.
You mean Ring of Honor tag and 6-man champion, Big Justice?
And Don Callis choked him with the jacket.
Man, fuck Don Callis.
Fair.
You can't mess up my ring of boom. The worst. Shout out to SkyTel who sent me a tweet, was just like, Joel, it's happening. Big Justice.
Boom family's gonna get those titles. That's gonna be crazy.
I'm telling you, man. I've laid it out multiple times. The Boom family needs to win all those titles, and Deonna Purrazzo needs to be the women's pure champion. Yeah. She's part of the Boom family. She's Italian. That's all you need.
Someone deleted my Boom drop, so I don't have it.
What? I can tell you, it wasn't me. I only delete other people's shit. Unneeded things.
I gotta re-upload the Boom.
What was a SmackDown delay? What is this?
I'm just tired and lazy and don't feel like doing it right now.
Is SmackDown delay you, or was this them?
SmackDown delay. I didn't.
Nope. We're just gonna delete that.
So you know what our drops are. Like,
I know, but I don't know. Sometimes if you have ones with SP3 that got in the way.
No, not usually.
I was like, Big Dick Rider one is always fun. Oh, yeah. Okay, fine. I think we're good now. Oh, and a shout out to my wife.
Happy anniversary!
Tomorrow. While I was going through the videos. I gotta watch the volume on that. That hurt my ears. Yeah. King Potato saying, keep it. Anyway, Don Callis is the worst.
Theme?
Something like that. They all look the same to me. Clowns. They all look the same to me. We'll never get rid of the happy anniversary one. Dynamite's 6th anniversary is coming up next month.
Yeah.
Live from, I forget where. Chicago?
Florida, I think.
Oh, that's even worse. Is it Florida? You're probably right. I just haven't looked. So. Hollywood, Florida, from the Hard Rock Live at Seminole Hard Rock.
I know things. Sometimes.
October 1st. We'll talk about AEW in a few minutes.
Will we?
Probably.
No, okay.
Assume we have to. I mean, it's a pretty good episode of Collision.
Yeah.
Stuff happened, which is nice because Collision doesn't always have that. We got a couple super chats. Let's hit these super chats up. First of all, Kim saying joining late. Love you, Jeremy. We appreciate you, Kim.
Appreciate you.
Sorry, I thought I had something.
No.
I thought I was about to burp, but then I didn't. Well, I don't want to do that on the air. Louis says love and appreciation for Jeremy. Just remember, Katie has to come to Banner Night in OKC.
Yeah, that's in just over a month now.
I'm glad these people love you and just tolerate me. Cyclops is better than Wolverine saying, who y'all think is next for Julia? I hope it's Bianca. Well, it's probably Michin again.
Yeah.
Typically, Michin. If when in doubt, Michin. Michin in.
Poor Michin. Like, she doesn't do anything wrong. She's like, go out there and lose. And the crowd just can't possibly care because they know she's going to lose. And they gave her one win in 6 seconds over Kiana James. It's like, you get your title shot.
It's going to be Mia Yim, not Michin. You're right. I don't know who it could be. Like, who would want that title at this point?
I don't want to say they don't have anybody because they do have people, but most of them are just NXT. But this is why they're just. I mean, Tiffany is in backstage segments most of the time. She's facing Jade again because Jade won a tag team match. Nia just shows up and is like, hey, I should be the champ. I should be getting this title shot. It's like, you've lost like 15 title matches this year. What do you mean you should get this match? It's like the same 3 people in the same 2 title feuds.
It's going to be Zelina again.
Honestly, it probably will be because Zelina, I don't think she got like a rematch or anything. So it legitimately probably will be Zelina. Again, it's the same 3 people and the same 2 title feuds. Though the women's title feud this year has been Nia, Tiffany, and Jade. There was a Charlotte Flair detour for a couple of months. And then the U.S. title has been Zelina, Michin, and now Julia. And Chelsea had it to start the year, but Michin and Zelina were her 2 challengers for the entire year. It's just...
Should be Shooter Candace.
I mean, I agree, but she's doing speed matches.
Is she ever? BFAB is another one who's on that roster.
Yeah, she doesn't really wrestle though.
Nope.
So I can't like put anything.
Chat's talking about Nikki Cross being in the background of some of those vignettes, and so Nikki Cross is someone you could go with. But again, it's like, why? Nikki Cross has just kind of been there, but they haven't really done. She hasn't wrestled. I can't even remember when her last actual match was. Had to have been before this. It was definitely before this rebrand. I'm checking this out. Nikki Cross from
like
Glasgow. That's the thing. Like even then, it's like from December 29th, 2024 in a
wild. Wasn't she in a
mixed tag?
Yeah.
She did a mixed street fight in September 9th. So a year. It's been 1 year since she's had a TV match.
Yeah.
And even that was a mixed street fight. She was doing the stuff with American Made.
Yeah, her last like
plunder match.
Yeah, November 2023 was the last time she like wrestled. That wasn't,
That's insane. I didn't even notice that it was 2023.
Yeah, she was in the Battle Royal in November 2023.
She has wrestled as a Wyatt. She just hasn't done anything other than plunder matches.
And it's only been 1 televised match. The other matches are house shows.
That's wild.
She's had 1 televised match since November 2023. It's been almost 2 years. She's had 1 televised match during that time.
And you know what? You know what she's done in that time? Got her PhD. Good for her.
Paid.
Got paid. She rules. That's the thing. I did an interview with her in Montreal before
She's
Elimination
great.
Chamber 23. She's fantastic. She's not only a joy to talk to, but she's a great wrestler and a great human. So that helps. Yeah. All right. You know what? Put the U.S. title on her just based on that.
Nah, Nikki Cross is great, but I don't
In a
feel like
year.
they're gonna do anything with her. Like I know they do the she's lurking in the background. Like they love doing that stuff. And then if it leads to something great, and if it doesn't, they can always just have it in their back pocket of, oh, but what if type of thing. When Finn Balor has come out and said this, the demon briefcase meant nothing. It was just, let's put this there. So it's an Easter egg in case we do it, but it might mean absolutely nothing. I saw people talking about, when Seth was backstage and there was like lighted up written behind them. And so everybody's like, oh man, it meant something. It meant something. And maybe for that instance, it did. But there are also just times where they do this stuff and it doesn't mean anything and it doesn't lead to anything, but they do it, so they do get people talking, and if they ever want to go to it, they can, but it doesn't mean they actually will get there.
Was this on this past week's show? There was a backstage sign that said "Light It Up."
No, I think it was a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
People have seen it. People have pointed it
Oh,
out.
this is 4 months ago.
Oh, well, there you go. I didn't realize it was that far.
It's a sign that says "Light It." It doesn't. That means nothing. Oh my god. It says "Light It Up," and they're in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it could have meant something. I don't
Or
know,
it could have
but
just been like "Light It Up" was another team's like slogan.
yeah.
It's like the Ducks use "Light the Lamp" whenever they win a game. And like that doesn't mean anything for it could mean something for another company, but anyway. It's like it's you know what it's like? You know what it's like? It was Friday. The banner of one of the local. Okay, so there you go. If it was this past Friday, then it was also probably a lot of the venues will have like the letter boards and they'll just write whatever to welcome WWE and they'll do light it up because it's so friggin' obvious. It's probably something like that.
Okay, we don't know if it meant something, if it was supposed to mean something. It could have been a calculated thing of, hey, stand here in this shot so we can get it, and like, ooh, this little Easter egg. Because the Elimination Chamber poster, look, this fell completely backfired on them. But the Elimination Chamber poster was a reference when they put it out, where it was Cena, Rock, and Travis Scott. They put that out, and that like was a reference of like what was going to happen, type of thing. But it could also just mean nothing, and they never circle back to it. So it's just one of those things, like, you drop enough Easter eggs, some of them might mean something. Some of them got candy in them and some of them got nothing, and you just gotta hope that you find the ones that got candy in them.
Who's the asshole not putting candy in their Easter eggs? I'm also
Oh,
Jewish, so this means nothing to me.
you guys go on these like Easter egg hunts, and then like maybe some of them have like good candy, some of them have bad candy, but yeah, some of them are just like empty. It's like, yeah, you found an empty Easter egg. Deal with it. You get to take the egg home, I guess, but not everyone should get candy for these Easter egg hunts.
That's an asshole thing to do. Why would you do that?
Fine, be better at hunting.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, I'm not the greatest hunter. I see what you're saying. Fine. Maybe you just got to be nicer. Anyway, Dr. Lily, I thought that was very stupid and very funny. Checking on Charlotte Flair, who can never catch a break.
Yeah.
It's so stupid. I love it. They're going to be putting those tag titles. They're going to be defending them against an NXT group soon. They're doing a thing in NXT. Yeah,
that's a thing. Sure.
Going to be Charlotte and Alexa, probably at Homecoming, because that's where they really, hit their stride, or started, I should say. They didn't hit their stride. They started at NXT. So it'll be fun. That's a cute little extra, there's your Easter egg. The beginnings of the women's revolution started at Full Sail University for NXT Homecoming, which I think that's like next week, isn't it? The 16th. Yeah, it's next Tuesday. So they got
Oh.
Because I'm going to be off to London the next day.
Oh, okay.
Because I got to go to Dynamite The
Yeah, they
3-hour
have
Dynamite,
to.
where I assume they're going to bring a second ring so they can do women's blood and guts, like everyone's saying. And it's going to be, I don't think it's either.
They're not doing it for that show.
This is the funny thing I keep thinking about. It's I'm of two mindsets. If they do it, this is the first venue where they have the space to do it, right? Coming out of the residency, going into All Out, it's a big way to load up your pre-All Out card, and the card is already taken shape. There's a lot of really cool stuff, and it's a different type of All Out card. You can really tell it's like there's few blockbuster matches being announced, but there are good, solid matches with stories attached that are part of the show. So like for that, I think All Out's going to be really, really good. But you can get a little bit more momentum if you run a big match on Dynamite going into it. Could that be a women's blood and guts or some sort of big, not all-star blank woman tag, but some sort of plunder match? And London works because you, like I said, you have the building, it's big enough. I don't think this is going to entice people to drive all the way to London, friggin' Ontario. But I could be wrong because I'm doing it for some godforsaken reason. I have my reasons actually. But yeah, it's just something I was thinking about. It's like, this is the only time in the next, before the pay-per-view that you could do it. Pay-per-view is going to be, 10 days away, or give or take. So maybe that's it. But who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do blood and guts before All Out, just because the risk seems a little bit much before the pay-per-view. You don't want Thekla getting hurt. You don't want Statlander getting hurt. You don't want Hayter or Tony getting hurt beforehand. That's why I just don't see it before the pay-per-view. Now maybe they run it after the pay-per-view. I could potentially see that. But I don't think it's gonna happen before. I could be wrong. Maybe they do run it before, and like they gotta run it at this point though. They can't not run it at this point. Like it's too many people have mentioned it, clamored for it, wanted it, and you've actually got the story to do it where it doesn't feel like a forced thing right now. Like it's there for you. So just go ahead and do it.
So that's a good point that you make, because they're doing the 4-way for the women's world title. And if you want your 4 women to be unscathed going into Saturday, then yes, maybe you don't run a match like Blood and Guts. I assume at that point you just run an all-star 8-woman tag.
Probably. I mean, that's what they love doing, the all-star. But they just did an all-star 8-woman tag.
Newsflash, they've been doing all-star 8 whatever blank people tags for the entirety of this this what do you call it? Residency.
No, I know.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, I know that's what they're doing. But I'm saying like they just had 3 of the 4 people in this all-star tag. So you do another all-star tag with who's gonna team? Tony. I guess you could just do Tony, Stat, and Jamie against Triangle of Madness. You can do an all-star 6-woman tag. You could just
all-star trios.
That.
Yeah, I don't know what again, you and I have joked about it. It's like everyone was like, women's blood and guts, women's anarchy in the arena. And we're like, no, it's probably just going to end up in like a all-star 12-woman tag. And that's how they blow it off.
I think they'll do it. I really do. I think they'll do it. I think Tony sees enough people wanting it that he's going to do it. And I think they've had plans to do it. Yeah, this is why they need to do it here, because they've clearly set it up well. This is not a forced thing where in years past it might have looked a little forced of like, okay, how do you get to 4-on-4, 5-on-5? Like maybe you got 3-on-3, but where are the extra people coming from? And they could have done it just to do it in years past, but it would have felt a little like, all right, we're just doing it just to do it. This actually feels like it's there this year. So that's why I think like they're going to do it at some point.
Henry asking what happened to Ty J. They did what they always do.
Fight.
They fought. I don't know where they are. Don't know where they will land. But I think getting Jamie Hayter back kind of even things out when it came to telling that story. They wanted to really focus on her return and dealing with Tekla, and then also her path back to the women's world title, because that was something that she was, she never really got her return match out of that. She never got to come back with it because she lost the title. She was injured, and they didn't really give her the opportunity. She never really got the opportunity to regain that women's world title, right? When she came back from injury the first time. Jamie Hayter?
No, maybe she didn't. I don't know. My memory's not good enough on that.
I think she came back for the Owen. And I don't think she got it. So
okay.
It became like a return to have her. Yeah. Now it's more in service of getting her. Yeah. She lost in the Owen final to Mercedes, and that's when she got planted, and then she got injured again, and now she's back. So yeah, there's room. There's room for her, but they got to start telling her story of coming back for the title shot that she never got after losing or dropping the title the first time. But now it's 4-way, so we added some matches. I thought that Collision was stronger than normal. This felt more like a consequential episode than in past. They actually had matches that determined all out matches, and they progressed some storylines, which you don't always get out of Collision. So it was good. Garcia and Moxley opening up the show. Fun, solid stuff. These two beat the shit out of each other, as they typically do. This was also a Rampage match, the CM Punk Rampage debut. Do you know that was a match on the card? Garcia and Moxley.
Oh, was it?
It was. It only went 4 minutes back then.
Oh,
but yes, there you go. Garcia and Moxley. It was good. And Moxley wins again. Garcia's like, nah, I hate this shit. Fuck you guys. He walks out. Hates everyone. Tells the cameraman, no, you stay here. Don't follow me. He's upset now. He's more upset than he's ever been. Red Death. It's back.
Very curious where they're going to go with this. Because, they try stuff with Daniel Garcia. And then they don't try stuff with Daniel Garcia.
That's been a problem.
So, you've got to actually commit to what you're going to do when it comes to Daniel Garcia. Because he's had opportunities. And I don't think it's fully on him of why they haven't worked out, but in some respect, it's a little on him on why they haven't worked out. But you've actually got to commit to whatever this is. And him losing, by the way, is not a good gimmick. Him just being a giant loser who can't beat Jon Moxley. So does he lose to the point that now he's going to join Moxley? Does he finally beat Moxley? And if he finally beats Moxley, okay, how do you build off of that? Because you can't have him beat Jon Moxley and then just become nothing after that. Because that's what's happened too often is they give Garcia a strong moment and the follow-up sucks afterwards. So whatever they're doing with Garcia, I hope they have a fleshed out plan of paying it forward with him, moving it forward with him, and not just we're going to do this one thing and then good luck, Daniel Garcia. You just gotta, that MJF feud really hurt him. Yeah, I don't think it was fully his fault, but
which is wild, by the way, because it's an MJF feud that people were clamoring for.
Yeah, but he kind of looked like a dork because he just lost, and then he got his revenge on MJF. But then MJF just kind of came back, and I know he was out for a little while because he was filming, but he kind of came back and just brushed it off on there. And then the TNT title reign hurt him way more than I think that wasn't his fault. They kind of set him up to fail on there. I don't think it was intentional or anything, but they set him up to fail in that he won the title. And then his first challenger was Mark Briscoe. And he backed down from Mark Briscoe and wanting to defend the title. Because when Briscoe challenged him, guys are like, I don't know about that. And it's what do you mean you don't know about that? That was just set up for him to fail. Your big first challenger when you're a babyface should not be Mark Briscoe. The babyface. You just can't have that be your first guy. So that just wasn't set up very good.
And then this was all it was all in service of him going to Adam Cole, right? Because he because Cole took
Yeah,
it from
which
Garcia in the end.
also
Yeah,
yeah, which also wasn't good because Adam Cole was very well liked and everything. Like they just kind of set him up to fail with that TNT title run.
yeah.
Like
They gave him a moment, but no follow through.
you can't give a babyface champion two babyface contenders coming off of the title or the title victory. You can't give him Mark Briscoe. You can't give him Adam Cole. I know he did stuff between the Briscoe and Adam Cole match. The Cole thing felt like it went for a while though. But it's still like Adam Cole was such a beloved babyface that can't be your first big challenger off of everything. It was again, it just wasn't well thought out. It was all right. Here's Daniel Garcia. He won the title. How long do we want him to be the champion for?
My major concern when you talk about, the turn and if and when it happens was, you've had so many times to do it. It's kind of like because everything's TNA. It's like Joe Hendry with the TNA title, right? You had so many times to do it that when you finally did it, it felt more here damn than it did. We're capitalizing on a moment. This is kind of what you run into with Danny Garcia. Was he's had these opportunities to turn and create some big moments for himself, but for some reason they keep holding back on it. And I don't know what they're planning to do that might get him to that moment, but it's one thing to do the moment, but then, like you said, the follow through could easily just destroy it. And if the follow through is now him and Daddy Magic are going to have a series of matches, then that's not enough. It depends what you want to do with Garcia on the card. I'm not saying he turns and immediately goes for the world title, but if you're going to turn him, then he has to do something that's meaningful and relevant to push him into a title contention. But it's hard to, as Boogaboo Jones says, trust the process. It's hard to trust the process when the process so far has been wait, and no movement, no trigger pulling and nothing. And when they do pull the trigger on a moment, the moment gets buried by the next guy. It's tough.
Yeah. Yeah, and look, I know there's complaints and knocks against Garcia. I understand them. Everything again. I don't think it's fully AEW's fault of why he's in this position. It's always a little bit of everything, right? Some of it is the booking, some of it is the person just isn't working out that they hoped it would be. Some of it is the opponent and the matches. Like a little bit of everything goes into it. So I'm not saying that it's all AEW's fault that he can't get to a higher position, but I don't think they've always put him in the best spot with Thing. They could have done a better job in certain aspects with him. And we'll see whatever this is. If it's joining the Death Riders, like, okay, I'm fine with that. I just don't know what that looks like, and like if that is not beneficial. But they have Yuta, and Yuta hasn't exactly like elevated off of this. Yuta is just the guy that gets beat most of the time. Like he's in a good spot. He's on television. He has matches, but like Garcia's in a good spot. He's on television. He has matches. Like, they haven't exactly advanced anything with Yuta.
Madrigal mentioning the feud with Mox has gotten Danny over more than he's been in years. He says, I've been at the show and people are really responding to him. So this is something you and I talked about, was the idea that you take one person in the residency and you focus on them. They become the whole like reason for the residency. They did it last time with name I totally just dropped. Who did they use?
Fletcher.
Fletcher. Thank you. Kyle Fletcher in Chicago. Thank you. And now you're doing it again with Danny Garcia. It's a little different, but it's the same. The story has been Danny. If it's not Danny Garcia, then it's FTR with the people that they're going after, whether that's Cope and Christian or Adam Priest. They're using these crowds, these residencies with similar people coming in to try and find an organic way to get some of these wrestlers over. And you saw what it did for Kyle Fletcher. He was already on the ascent. Now what we're doing is trying to do it again, make Garcia a main character for the weeks that they're there. This is the last week that they're there. So they got to capitalize on Wednesday and then Thursday's tapings to make this a big deal for Danny Garcia. So I'm assuming that him walking out on Saturday means we see him again on Wednesday or Thursday for the tapings. Interesting. Thinking about something else, where he comes back and gets the moment for the end of the residency. And then you go into whatever's next. I just don't know what that is because he just had matches with Moxley, and the only other person he could go after is Nigel McGuinness and do a match at All Out. Maybe that's the turn. But there's been no follow-up with Nigel and Danny since the match at Forbidden Door. So I don't know where that plays into it, unless he's got to bring it all the way back to get to that match if they're going to go that way.
People saying like, oh, well, Yuta's getting heat because it's the Philly crowd and everything. Like that's part of it. Is he's clearly very disliked in Philadelphia, but I feel like he was getting like "fuck you, Yuta" chants at the end of last year as well. Like when he ended up aligning with the Death Riders and was beating up Danielson and during the stuff with Orange Cassidy. Like I feel like he was getting good heat there, and they just didn't go anywhere with it.
You know what it is with Yuta? It's that he is featured with the top stars in the company. And that's kind of what they've done with Danny and Moxley. But like Yuta with the Death Riders, they spent an entire year plus making that group the group to watch, the people to watch, and that included Yuta. So his character development has been not only growing out my hair and being an asshole, but also just being around these people and taking on their way of life or presentation. So you saw more of Yuta. You saw Danny Garcia, but you weren't getting the same. The optics were different. The presentation was different. One was with the world champion. The other one was on Saturday nights with the TNT title and like having matches, but not being as put out there as this counterpart that we're talking about.
Right. My point on Yuta is that he's been getting heat. It's just there's been no real advancement with him. He's just he's just a guy who gets beat every time. Like the backstage stuff with Statlander has been good. I do like that he's trying to do the recruiting for Moxley. But remember when people thought that like Yuta was gonna be the one to like stand up to Moxley? He's like, I'm not gonna take this shit anymore, type of thing. Like that never happened. And he's just a henchman in this group. That's where he feels. It doesn't feel like there's actually any type of elevation with him. I'm not saying that's necessarily the worst thing in the world. Like you need people who are there to do that kind of job. And Yuta's still young. There's still time to do something bigger with him. I can respect the potential long-term effect of this. But my point is, if you're going to put Garcia in this group, which they may or may not do, then it's like, okay, well, where is that the trigger that pulls Yuta into something else? Is that what actually gets him elevated off of stuff? Or if Yuta leaves, like, does he just lose to them? And does Garcia just beat him? And then he's just a babyface who is kind of without a path because he's got to make amends to Orange Cassidy type of thing. Like, I think there's directions here with Garcia and Yuta. It's just how much of it has been fleshed out and how far are they willing to go with these guys.
Not very. No, I don't know. And I think the conversation's ripe because they haven't necessarily shown us that these guys are going beyond the moment that they set. So we'll see. You know, I think I figured out who's writing those long ass previews on AEW.com. I think I figured out who it is.
Bryan Danielson.
I wish. I think it's Matt Camp.
Oh, okay.
Because he's been plugging them Every time they come out, he's on his socials. He's plugging the
Is
previews.
he?
I'm like, ain't nobody else plugging these
Then
previews.
yeah, it's definitely him.
I think Matt's
100%
been,
him.
and I know Matt's been doing work with AEW, so I'm just like, oh, okay. Now I know who's writing these dialogue Bibles known as the AEW previews, which we used to talk about until they started getting smart and dropping them later in the day because we couldn't read from them.
Yeah.
These bastards ruined our fun. We enjoyed those on Wednesdays. We'll bring them back. Big Bill calls out Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, good.
Happening,
Glad
baby.
Eddie Kingston is coming back. Looking forward to that.
You saw Eddie's pseudo response to it.
Yeah, he's watching South Park. Good for him.
God bless. With his Halo Top ice cream. Have you ever had Halo Top ice cream?
No, I haven't.
So I recently got some. It was given to me by someone who was moving out from another unit in this building.
I wouldn't have trusted that.
Yeah, well, it was covered. It was deeply freezer burnt, as it turned out. And I tried it. It was fine. So it was fine. I tried it.
Oh, I don't feel like you're being fair to the Halo ice cream here, getting secondhand freezer burned ice cream as your trial run.
That shit's expensive, man. I was happy to get what I got.
Sure, but I will defend the Halo ice cream in saying that is not a fair review of its product, getting secondhand freezer burned ice cream.
Said it was good. It's not great.
Said it was fine.
It was fine. Like most things in wrestling, it's fine. I'm gonna go find the Cherry Garcia that they also gifted us. Never checked to see if that was freezer burnt.
Do I need to get some Halo some Halo ice cream and try it?
Yeah, you can try it. It is yummy. The whole idea is that it's like lower calorie than most ice cream, but like all you got to do is just eat less ice cream. Seems like a bad idea. Yeah, I won't do that. There you go. Ryan said, my partner said it tastes like watered down ice cream with protein powder added in. And that's what it kind of tasted like. But you know what? If that's going to make Eddie happy and work towards his fitness goals, then good for him. Good for him. It's ice cream. Just eat the damn.
Light ice cream that actually tastes like ice cream.
Yeah. Light ice cream is an oxymoron. Yeah, doesn't exist.
I've seen these at the grocery store.
Yeah. It's got higher protein, but it's still fatty as fuck. I got it, like I said, got it for free. It was freezer burned. I tried it. It was fine, but the freezer burn definitely took away. I can just let it melt for a bit. That would probably take away most of the burn. Right?
The peanut butter cup ice cream looks pretty good, honestly.
A lot of them look delicious. It's ice cream.
Yeah. Maybe we'll try the Halo Top at some point.
All right. They come in little cups. So, well, not little, but like little pint things.
I've seen them. I'm going to get one of the mix-in things. I don't know which one, but
it was fine. See, it was fine. It's basically this. That's the third slogan of the show. It was fine.
True. Very true.
Second-class citizens in your ears. What else happened on the show? Yeah, Eddie Kingston coming back is a nice touch. I like the idea of him being back. I don't know if that's an all-out match. Certainly seems like a 0-hour match. No offense to either gentleman. I don't know. Right now, All Out's sitting at 6 matches.
It's not going to be long. Like,
just do it on Collision. Do it on the pre-show, the HBO Max tailgate show.
Nah, you can't put that on. You can't put Eddie Kingston's return on 0 hour. They do have the pre-show is on TNT, which is, good. I think that's good.
Sure.
Yeah.
Doing in full gear in Jersey. Now, do you think Eddie Kingston wants to step foot in Jersey? What's wrong with you?
Eddie Kingston doesn't care.
He would care. He would care. He would absolutely care. Okay. Be the first place he'd be like, nope, not doing this place again. Can I light a guy on fire here? No, forget it. Not doing it. They're gonna do it in Fishers, Indiana.
Why can't he light somebody on fire?
Just drugs mostly. I mean, the issues of fire safety.
Oh, okay.
Can't do that. Regardless,
fire safety.
It'll be nice to see this happen. I don't know when it'll happen. I mean, I got to assume in the next couple of weeks.
It could be as early as Wednesday.
That would be fun. Yeah. Dalton Castle also is back. He's
That's a
got his new
cool.
boys.
Yeah, I like the Outrunners and Dalton Castle link up. That's a fun little trio.
They should give the trios titles to them. Who are the current trios champs? The Ops.
Ops, yeah.
Yeah. Because they're always never lacking. Hook should help Dalton Castle and the Outrunners win the trios titles.
They might win this ROH 6-man. Remember they aired a vignette? You probably don't. You don't watch ROH.
Who
But
watches our? I watched the better Thursday show.
they aired a vignette for Dalton's return in like June, and
This I did see because people were hyped about it.
and then they just never followed up on it until Saturday, where his return was with the Outrunners. But I like that pairing. That's a fun little group that'll make the most of their TV time and get good reactions because they're fun little baby faces.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. Darby Allin, John Moxley is going to be a coffin match at All Out. Kind of expected it. You knew there was going to be some sort of added element. Coffin matches are fun for those two. They're going to beat the shit out of each other.
It should be just a full on, like a literal death match. Although Briscoe and MJF might have a literal death match.
Yeesh. Winner gets their marriage annulled.
That doesn't seem great.
Winner gets a vasectomy. Mark Briscoe has 20 children. They just keep popping up. They just keep happening. Every single time he does a vignette out of town, there's a goddamn baby in his hands.
Let that man fuck.
That man fucks. Good for you, man. Good for you. Be fruitful and multiply. That's what the Jews say. I don't know what your excuse is, Mark. Anyway, MJF loves love but hates his wife, so he loves beating up revenge-filled moments. Oh, this was something else. Briscoe and Takeshita, great main event match.
Yeah.
Get all the way to the finish. And again, this was something that you, me, and SP3 talked about last week, was how do you do this match, given Mark Briscoe shouldn't lose, Takeshita almost definitely shouldn't lose, but you don't want to do a DQ finish. And I know we were all talking about MJF, but at the same time, I hinted to you guys what was going on, and that was MJF was getting married this weekend. I didn't say he wouldn't be there. I kind of just said I'd be surprised if he'd show up. Yeah, he showed up. He got married.
Surprised.
Got married, showed up, and got right to work. When the wedding photos emerged and people were commenting on it, I was like, oh no, he's coming to Philly. Like he's going to be on the show. When people from AEW were talking about it, I was like, he'll be on the show. When Tony Khan is commenting on it, like, he's coming to work.
Bless that he got married and he's like, you know what, I gotta still kick the shit out of Mark Briscoe. So this is what I'm gonna do. It was a really good match between Takeshita and Briscoe, and then I was surprised to see MJF because he did just get married, but revenge waits for no wedding. Very interested to see what kind of match Mark Briscoe picks, because we already have a coffin match on this show. And it's going to be tough. Like, whatever you're going to do, you got to somehow follow or be different than Jon Moxley and Darby Allin. And Jon Moxley and Darby Allin do a lot of insane things. And you've got to somehow be different than that.
There's one match that these two guys have in common.
Dog collar?
Dog collar. I don't want it to be a dog collar match for the reasons you just laid out. So I don't know what fits. By the way, this is funny because this is true.
I think it will be a dog collar, honestly.
TK did move the ROH pay-per-view because of Max's wedding. Yeah. That is why. When he said he had a thing, it was that's when I found out what it was. But yes, I think it's going to be a dog collar match. But yeah,
I think it's going to be a dog collar match. At least that's different than the coffin match, because then you're just kind of using the dog collar with everything, and you can you're not getting so much of the tables, the chairs, the spikes, and all of that stuff involved. It's just, all right, we got to be tethered to each other with the dog collar, and we beat each other with the dog collar and everything. So that's, I'm not mad at a dog collar match, and it wouldn't shock me if that is what the match is. That would make some sense.
Does it
To
need
me.
to be? Does it
But
need to be as heavy as a dog collar match?
it's got to be something heavy. They said they were going to kill each other. MJF was threatening to light him on fire. You
Yeah.
can't just let's do a pure rules match out of this.
Well, that's kind of what's funny. It's just like Mark should play it up so hard that he's like, I'm not going to tell you till we get to the ring, and then it's just it puts the fear of God in MJF somehow, and then it just turns out it's a regular match. But you can't do that because again, like
No.
you said, I see Henry mentioning Inferno match. Like I always go back to what Bruce said on his podcast once upon a time. It's like, you know why we never did the Inferno match again? It's because we got the bill for how much gas we used. And he gave out a number, and I'm sure it was a kayfabe number, but like you legitimately have a lot of things that go in, a lot of logistics to an Inferno match. You could just do a brawl of some sorts. A dog collar match makes sense for a multitude of reasons, but you got to tell a different story than the coffin match that they're going to have.
And I think a dog collar match allows you to tell a different story than the coffin match. Because if you just do like a Texas death match, that's when you're getting into too much of the similar territory. Because then you're relying on some of the similar tropes and props that a coffin match would rely on. Where a dog collar match, again, you're kind of just relying on the dog collar. You might use some chairs, maybe tables get involved. But you can just get away with just doing a straightforward dog collar match without any of that kind of stuff. So I think dog collar is different enough than a coffin match, whereas a street fight wouldn't quite be different enough.
Does it bug you at all that we came
No, I
out of
don't care
Forbidden?
enough.
No, that's fair. But going back to the conversation after Forbidden Door, right? There were multiple matches, multiple pay-per-views that were using some sort of plunder. Anarchy in the Arena, the Texas Death, the match at Forbidden Door, the cage match that was caged in, whatever they called it. Anyway, the cage match, lights out cage match. They're doing another pay-per-view with hardcore matches kind of leading the way. It's not the world title match. It's not officially the world title. That match isn't official yet. But regardless, you've got two potential gory matches. Again, going to the well too much or worth it given the stories at play?
It's worth it with these stories. This is why the lights out cage match for me wasn't as good as I think a lot of people enjoyed it more than I did. But for me, there wasn't enough there for it to be a lights out steel cage match, and it wasn't helped that people missed television leading up to it. This Briscoe and MJF has been building. They've gone to extreme lengths to try to kill each other. Darby and Moxley has been building. They've gone to extreme lengths to try to kill each other. So these stories make sense to do these kind of matches where the lights out steel cage was the one that just didn't make a ton of sense. And that's why I didn't think it hit the same way as even Anarchy in the Arena or the Texas Death Match did. So no, I don't have a problem with either of these matches being some sort of gimmick match. What kind of gimmick can they do? Let's say they don't do dog collar. So I was thinking about this. We'll do the lights out gimmick because it's got to go on last, right? In my scenario that I'm about to tell everybody.
Yes.
Because I don't know if Hangman and Fletcher is like a strong enough closer. It's a good match, but there's no real doubt. You don't see Kyle Fletcher winning the title. I love that they're building Fletcher. I don't love that he's the TNT champion and you're just going to give him the world title shot. I mean, we saw that last year. People complained about it when Jack Perry got the shot. It's like, why is Jack Perry? He's already one of the champions. Why is he now facing Danielson? So MJF, Mark Briscoe, do they go back to like a lights out barbed wire match?
So I thought about this, and like you said, it needs to end the night if that's what you're doing. Maybe not barbed wire, but a chicken coop type of thing where you're using chicken wire around the ring.
Okay.
But at the same time, this isn't like the ball is in Mark's court. So for him, he could technically say whatever and get away with it. Like he can give you any match because he's upset and because he wants to. He gets the advantage, so to speak. But at the same time, there needs to be a connective tissue that makes sense to do a match like this. And that's why dog collar is so easy to go to and obvious for a match like this. I also don't think that there's like a specific weapon that they can use because there hasn't been a weapon that's been shared between the two, right?
Yeah, the diamond ring.
Not really. That's the thing. So like the chicken wire works because it's Mark Briscoe and because of the chicken stuff. But the dog collar works because both men have been in dog collar matches very famously in ROH and in AEW. So like it works. And also a chicken coop match, like you need to redo the ring ropes and that takes a few minutes.
Right. That's why it would go on last.
Yeah.
Lights out chicken coop match.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's got to be like a heavy hardcore. So instead you gotta, if this is going to, like, this shouldn't be the last match either. Cause this isn't the main event. It's either going to be Fletcher and Hangman because that's going to bring back Chris Jericho, or it's going to be the tag match with Cope and Christian and FTR, which for Canada, whatever, Toronto people like that. So I don't know. It's weird. And like Major Blood saying the Inferno match, but as we've talked about, doing the Inferno match is logistically such a pain in the ass that I don't think they want to do it. They could, they could do it, but I don't think it's where they want to go. If it's Eddie Kingston, he's like, I got some ideas for you.
It should be a chicken coop match. You've sold me on this. And you get kind of the high fencing, everything, yep. The high chicken coop. You also got chickens in the ring.
Oh, yeah. That's illegal, but sure.
Who cares about legalities? They're in Canada.
I mean, I was at a farm this weekend. They cared. They really went out of their way to make sure the safety was adhered to. Sure.
You got chickens in the ring. Well, I think it was I'm sure this happens in other games. It was like a South Park N64 game. I forget what it was called, but you go around. You had like a chicken gun, and you just like cocked its legs, and they shot eggs.
Oh yeah.
People,
yeah.
Anybody play this South Park game?
Oh man, I know which one you're talking about. That's awful.
I forgot what it was called. But it was the South Park N64 game. It was a very fun game. But that's basically what I'm getting at. They should just shoot chicken eggs at each other. Just throw in chicken eggs at each other. You know what I mean?
But the eggs had to be emptied because the eggs are so damn expensive these days.
Well, yeah, you peed on a snowball as a weapon. Yeah. People remember this game. Yeah. I want to play it now.
We are such children. I love it.
I'd say South Park's still relevant. Yeah, it was just called South Park. Yeah, I think it was just like South Park N64.
64, yeah, South Park 64.
Yeah. I remember I rented it, and I was like very confused because I don't know if there was like a point to that game outside of just like do shit.
I think that's all it was.
And so that's like what I did. I was like, are you supposed to is there any missions? Are there levels to this game? And I don't remember if I actually like played it to do like levels and stuff. I just went around and just doing dumb shit that you could do in the game. But that was like great. That's all I wanted out of the game. But anyway, that's what the chicken coop match should be. They should just shoot chickens at each other, and it'd be great.
I'm into it. I could do it.
Did that have the color of skin as levels of difficulty? That sounds like a South Park thing.
Yeah, that did have it. Yeah, absolutely did. Not a great. Listen, doesn't always stand up to the test of time, but there was entertainment in those bones.
No, I think South Park does stand the test of time. That's why it's so great.
In some cases, it does. So yeah, there's no real good answer to this other than the two that we've really laid out here: chicken coop and a dog collar.
I think there's more. I think there is more to it, but yeah, they probably have other ideas.
You can easily just do a stupid cage match.
Nah, you can't go back to the cage after doing a cage.
I know. Well, at least this cage has a roof on it, allegedly.
Why would that have a roof on it?
I don't know. I guess they don't all have roofs. Put a roof on it.
Yeah, I don't think you need to do a cage on this, because cage, it's weird because MJF said, like, you pick the match. So by saying that, you can, but the pathway there is strange because MJF isn't exactly running from the match. You know, the cage is supposed to be keep them in, keep everybody out. But there's no one else really involved in this feud that you need to keep out. And MJF, because he's like, you pick the match, he's not exactly running from this match. That's why the dog collar makes sense, because of the history of where it would go, but maybe not so much as the, oh, well, you're going to be tied to him so you can't, like, escape. MJF hasn't been, I mean, he's been cowardly in this feud, but him saying you pick the match doesn't really give off coward vibes.
They should have an eye drink match.
They just got to chug eye drink. Who loses? First one to throw up?
But the problem is, they say it's no caffeine, no crash, it's stimulant free, it's non-carbonated, it's vegan, and it's backed, quote, by clinical science.
All right, I'm sure if you drink enough of it, you could still throw up.
That's probable. Yes, they have two flavors: berry and berry low sugar. They want $35 for them. What is it? 35 for a bunch, right? 112. No way. The 112-inch can. No. 112-ounce can should not be $35.
12-ounce can?
Okay, it's a 12 count. It's 12 count.
Okay.
I was gonna be like, what did they get into? They could do an ambulance stipulation, sure. Although I don't think Canadian ambulances really want to come and do the work. It's tough. We live near an ambulance district.
They should not be cowardly and do some sort of fire match. Honestly.
You'd think they should do a fire match.
Yeah.
But they really move past that fire thing quickly.
So? Mark Briscoe shouldn't be moving past it. Like, you tried to burn me alive. He gets to pick the stipulation.
But he hasn't talked about it. He hasn't really mentioned it. It just kind of happened. If he was making a big point out of it, then you can do something with it. But he hasn't.
He should not be cowardly. They should do a fireworks match.
A fireworks match?
Yeah, just shoot fireworks at each other.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, you got to douse your opponent. You got to douse your opponent in gasoline, and then shoot fireworks to set them on fire.
Fans bring the weapons match.
Not Canadian fans, though.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? One of the coolest fan brought weapon I ever saw was one of those mini hockey sticks adorned with thumbtacks.
Of course, it was a hockey stick.
But it's the little white mini ones that you play with kids.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Just nothing but thumbtacks on them. That shit rules. Bring your own weapons match. The venue is gonna hate the shit out of that.
What if they had like a Canadian healthcare match?
The winner gets Canadian healthcare. Both men are gonna be like, I'm in. They hit each other with stale Timbits. Someone earlier was like a Tim Hortons match. I swear to God, we are much more than Tim Hortons. Tim's is garbage. I hate Tim Hortons. You know what Tim's is good for? When my kid is hungry and he wants a bagel with cream cheese and the McDonald's doesn't sell it after 11. That's all that Tim Hortons is good for. Unless they want to sponsor us, at which point I love Tim Hortons. They're the best.
What if they have a Burberry scarf match?
Instead of a dog collar match, they're joined together by a Burberry scarf.
Yeah.
Feel like that is not something Burberry wants to be associated with.
Well, too bad.
A pizza palooza? Down. That's great. The loser must become Canadian. I mean, that's fine. I'm pretty sure. I mean, I can tell you one of those competitors might be all in on that idea.
Do you think they could get away with a cinematic style match? And by get away with it, I mean they could do it. They could pull it off. And the cinematic style would be just go to the Briscoe farm and fight there.
Of course.
But could they do it for the live crowd? Like, would it work for the live crowd having to sit through that?
I don't think so. And that's because I can tell you firsthand when again, going back to Impact, when they did that at Emergence a few years ago and they had us sit through, was it Frankie Kazarian and Eddie Edwards? And we thought it was going to start. We thought they were going to tape that, air it on an episode of Impact, and then do something in Emergence out of it. They didn't. They showed it at Emergence, and like the screen was too small to start. But other than that, like it sucked the air out of the crowd. So no, that wouldn't work for me at least. I think we're done that. Okay. You can air it on a show that's weekly taped, but you cannot do it on a live show.
Okay. I don't disagree. I think it'd be a tough sell to do that on a live show and just have the crowd sit there and watch the screen for 15 to 20 minutes.
And that's the thing, like with AEW shows and WWE to a certain degree, like if you're doing a cinematic thing, you cannot do a full ass 20-minute match.
Oh, WWE could easily do it. People sit there through the commercial breaks for 20 minutes.
That is also a valid point.
They're like, wait a second, you're going to air a match during this instead of a bunch of ads? Great.
That's actually a good point. Yeah, you're right. But I don't think AEW fans would want that.
Yeah,
I know
AEW. Remember when I bullied Tony into not doing an intermission at wrestling events?
I'm sorry, we could have had intermissions at these events?
This is a real thing. Do people not know this story?
Maybe this has got to be a 2020 story. This has to be or just coming out of pandemic story.
Yeah, maybe I didn't brag about this enough.
You've definitely, like, I'm thinking about it and it makes sense. It's something that I've known of, but I've never thought of because nobody has intermissions other than indie events.
So there's a couple of stories. If you just Google AEW intermission Fightful, you'll get the story of it. This was April 2021, and it was after his, the House Always Wins event, which I don't know if they ever like put that out there for anything.
They did. I remember someone saying they watched it, but maybe not.
All right. So this was when Tony did regular appearances on that other show. And he just said that he believes an intermission could work at pay-per-view events. We could do that. Also, a countdown clock. If you watch Road 2 or The Countdown, you might have seen it. But that's even better. They're part of the pay-per-view. I think it's a good idea. And then of course, the host of that other morning show liked it because they loved AEW at the time. Now they probably think it was terrible. And then he says, if you guys think it's a good idea, then maybe it's a good idea. If the fans like it, then maybe it's a good idea. And then I put out like the tweet on everything. And Tony replied to me. And I just said, Tony Khan pondering the idea of doing an intermission on pay-per-views. Look, if you're going to start the pay-per-view at 8 on a Sunday, have it go 4 hours, and do a fucking intermission, then I'm done. And Tony just said, I was just curious as to what people thought because it got a good reaction at the House Always Wins. I'll mark that down as a no vote from you.
From both of you because it was you and another guy. That rules. Oh, that's so funny.
And they never did pay-per-view intermissions, so...
What do they think they are, GCW? What is this shit?
My vote counted for the most here. I bullied Tony into not doing these pay-per-view intermissions.
This is why Tony needs to be on the show once a week to remind him of these moments and the interactions that ensued. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Anyway, all this to say that the match should not be a cinematic match between MJF and Mark Briscoe. You know what Briscoe should do? I figured it out. Mark Briscoe should say, MJF, you get to face me and my entire family, all 17,000 of us, and they all just come to the ring and they all beat the shit out of Max. It's a family affair. The baby, the newest one, the one that's like teeny tiny, gets the pin. Hits a jade driller and everything. The baby gets the pin. And then they go to intermission.
I just all the babies should just pin them. Just
all the babies.
Yeah, how are you gonna kick out of
the little ones on top because it you don't hurt them? 17,000 is a lot, but that is the family. They are huge.
Yeah,
it's gotta happen.
Mark should do like a fight. Let's fight at the Briscoe farm. Like I don't know how that works on pay-per-view, but you could have a lot of fun.
It doesn't.
You could have a lot of fun with that. I don't think it does either. But you
can't even do it on you can do it on a taped collision.
Like a taped collision, yeah.
Yeah, that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah.
You
could do it during the pre-show, technically. Like
you could. It doesn't really. There's no gravitas to it.
If you do it on the the Saturday brawl, tailgate brawl gimmick, you do it on that TNT show, because the crowd that's at that show, like, you're not missing anything. You can watch it there. It's the pre-show. You'll be fine. And then the crowd at home gets to see it. It doesn't scream like this is how we're blowing off a Mark Briscoe MJF feud by putting it on what is essentially a pre-show before the pay-per-view. But if they were going to do it, that would be one way to kind of get around it.
Yeah, we'll see what he decides. We'll see what he decides. What's next? Yeah, we kind of touched on the 4-way with the women's match. Thomas, Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Chris Statlander, and Tekla. This was Toni Storm making the challenge. After the 8-woman tag, everyone's taken out. The baddies are taken out. Statlander and Tony and who else was there? Oh my gosh, I forgot who else was in that match. Regardless, the baddies are taking care of everyone. Out comes Jamie Hayter to confront Tekla, and Toni Storm.
Harley, Stat, and Mina.
Right, thank you. Okay. I didn't have it in front of me. I was looking at the match lineup. Tekla gets confronted by Jamie Hayter, who comes out, and then afterwards, Timeless Toni Storm is just like, "What are you doing here?" And Stat's like, "She's trying to help us," and then Timeless Toni Storm goes nuts and basically says, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts." And she challenges the 3 women to a 4-way. As one does when you're upset, you challenge them to a 4-way. This is a match that it looks like it'll be fun. It's a little hastily put together, but I think that the things that come out of it are potential for longer term stories. You have Tekla and Jamie Hayter obviously having their feud. Chris Statlander's kind of been on the periphery, and we don't know where she sits with the babyface or heel side of things. This could all turn on a dime come next week. And Timeless Toni Storm is going nuts again. So she could easily have set herself up to fail and crown a new champion out of a 4-way where she doesn't eat the pin, or she does because she's not, thinking straight.
Yeah, whenever Toni loses this title, it's gotta be
in service of putting someone above.
Yeah, she's gotta get pinned on this, and I don't think it should be a 4-way match. This is a weird setup to all of this. Like,
just can't tell you it's not surprising.
Toni wasn't.
They didn't have anyone.
Well, figure that shit out and
yes,
get somebody for your women's champion.
This is kind of going back to the blood and guts, will they or won't they thing. Is that maybe they've been sitting on these 8 women or 6, however many have been going at each other for the last little while, with Toni not being a part of it until recently. That part is where they put themselves into a corner. They book themselves into they didn't dig themselves or put themselves in there, but it's where they are. They never included Toni. She was outside of everything, and you had most of your women who are getting over in this feud that you're not pulling off yet. Instead, you get the traditional women's 4-way at All Out.
Yeah, they could have gotten to somebody else in a different manner here, like with a one-on-one match or whatever it might have been. But they're going with a 4-way. People were very confused. People thought that they were setting up. People thought they were setting up a 6-woman where it was going to be Tony, Stat, and Hater against Triangle of Madness. And then, AEW had to put out all the tweets of like, it's a 4-way, it's a 4-way, it's a 4-way. And then people were like, oh, it's a 4-way.
4-way, 4-way, 4-way. Something I hear all the time. Very excited for 4-ways. No, it's just, it'll be, again, I'm looking forward to the match. It's a little bit feeling hastily put together. And they didn't need to do it like this. They could have used Tony's time in the residency to build an opponent. They could have broken one person away from this big triangle of madness and Tekla versus literally all the good baby faces. But instead, we're where we are. We're going to do a 4-way. And again, the match will be fun. Hopefully there's storytelling that comes out of this, but like Chris Statlander is the one person that people are going to have to keep their eyes on for this match because she's the one kind of out there member of the group in the 4.
Do you think Yuta helps Statlander or Marina helps Statlander win?
So part of me thinks, they could do that. This is kind of what I was getting at was Tekla and Jamie kind of cancel each other out. But the problem is then you got to pin the champion or make sure that someone's in the ring, like Jamie's in the ring to eat the pin or Tekla's in the ring to eat the pin. You can have Yuta and Marina get involved, one or the other or both, and then have Statlander win the match and maybe doesn't know at first what happened and then feels bad and then eventually comes around to it because she's the champion, or she can just be in on it all along and then Harley Cameron's going to be pissed off. Unfortunately, if then it's Harley Cameron, gets beaten up by Chris Statlander, poor Harley, but also kind of plays to the right beat because everyone loves Harley. It's good heat. So
that's really good heat, beating up Harley Cameron.
So you know what? For that, I don't really mind it. It's a good red herring too because Harley has just been this loudmouth woman in a tag division that doesn't exist, wanting a tag match or wanting to tag up with Chris. And then you could also go along to Statlander versus Tony again, inevitably, but also you can start bringing in Willow Nightingale again, which people would love. But I also am ready for them to move past just Willow and Chris moving forward. So it's a match that you inevitably need, but it's not one that you need to build on. You need to just, if it's going to be Chris, it's a good idea. You got to tell the story with why, does she accept the Death Riders or does she just accept that she's a bad guy now? And that's it. So I don't hate the idea, but that's why I keep saying she's the wild card. She could easily walk out with that title and it would make sense.
Harley Cameron should win all the titles
Yes.
Where I'm at.
Should beat Mercedes Moné and take all those titles.
Factual.
And then she should do all of the dates that come with them. All the Mercedes dates, she's going to go. She's going to be putting up those titles. Probably losing them. But at least she'll be putting them on.
9 belts Harley.
9 belts Harley.
Yeah.
Anything else from Collision that you feel needs to come up?
I don't think so. It was a good show. It's a really good show.
Yeah, it's been a run of. Well, I couldn't say that. It was a solid. So I think this was one of the best Collisions storytelling wise in several weeks.
But then people are gonna say it's bad because it's gonna do like 150,000.
Who could possibly give a shit? I mean, yes, dorks will be dorks. Dorks will dork out.
When was the last AEW ladder match? Was it All In last year?
4-way TNT? Is that the one you're thinking of?
No, I'm thinking of the trios match. Maybe that was 2 years ago. Maybe was it the 4-way TNT? It was in the 4-way TNT. Oh, for the vacant title that Jack won? Yeah, that was last year.
Patriarchy, Bang Bang Gang. Yeah, that's all in 2024.
Yeah. Was that the last ladder match?
Last one I can think of.
Has there been one since then that I'm just misremembering?
Someone in the chat, do you know? Do you know? Because I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. my point was like they don't go to the ladder match that often. Good, because WWE went to it every other month, it felt like. So I'm glad they don't go to it too often.
You know what you could do? Briscoe and MJF in a ladder match for the title shot. You want to turn it into Money in the Bank without turning it into Money in the Bank? You put a ladder match to get the Money in the Bank contract. But also, Mark should be wanting a title shot.
Yeah.
MJF took that away from him. got a shot and lost. So Mark should want to take that away from him. That's the thing that MJF loves more than anything in the world. Mark could say, you tried to take away my livelihood, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to take away your livelihood. We're going to put your wife on. No, sorry. We're going to take that title, not briefcase, the contract. We're going to hang it above the ring. And we're going to have a ladder match. You could easily do something like that. The one thing Max loves more than anything in the world. How are they going to navigate the Alicia Toot is now Max's wife thing?
The same way they do with John Moxley and Renee.
Just don't look. Just don't draw attention to it.
Yeah, it's you
Okay.
just don't say too much. Alicia isn't on TV nearly as much as Renee.
No, she
either.
is. She's kind of becoming not becoming, but she has been presented as number 3.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing too. You've got Big Bill and his wife.
They don't draw any attention to that. You just like
that's because Big Bill's just Big Bill.
Yeah, so I don't think you got to draw any attention to it. I'm sure if MJF does a promo with her, like in a backstage, he'll make some cheeky reference because he's MJF, but she's not on TV enough for it to be like a thing of, oh, we're gonna bring you into something here. Remember when Jarrett fucking remember that promo exchange between MJF and Jarrett?
Do I ever? Calling women whores.
Yeah. That was a piece of business.
That was a time.
Yeah, that was a piece of business.
Louis saying Cameron Crazies demand 9 belts.
They
want 90 belts.
Duke. We can't do that. We're going to get sued by Duke.
That's fine. Not my problem. Oh, man. Yeah, so there you go. There's a ladder match. It's been a while. You could do that and put the contract up there.
I don't know if they're going to do a ladder match for that. I was just thinking when you said ladder match, like we haven't had a ladder match in AEW in a while. So Wardlow, his return went well.
People really, really clamoring for that Wardlow. Has he been off TV again?
Yeah, he just hasn't. He was at All In and then just Forbidden Door, whatever fucking show he showed up at.
And then he showed up at like the first residency show, but never again.
Did he? I don't remember showing up on that show.
He was in the suit. He was in a nice red suit with a black shirt.
Oh, if you say
him and Don Callis stared at each other nicely.
Oh, I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Since then, not a damn thing. It's okay. Him and Ace Austin just showing up, baby.
Nah, Ace Austin looks like he might be Bang Bang Gang because I don't think that was by accident that
not at all.
They aired right next to each other and the Bang Bang Gang were like, we've been dealt bad cards. And it's like, oh, Ace. And Ace talks about cards and having an ace up his sleeve. I get it.
Yeah, kind of heavily hinting at it. I agree with you there.
Was Jericho Bandito last year?
I feel like it was like last year.
I feel like that was 5 years ago at this point. Like, honestly, I'm sure it was. Was it this year? When was that match?
Wasn't that Final Battle? No, it was 2024. It was October. That was Briscoe and Jericho.
Oh, Briscoe and Jericho. Okay. Yeah, October 2024. Okay. I would say Bandito. I didn't think I did a ladder match. Okay. So that's the last ladder match then, October, because that happened after All In last year.
Yeah.
So October. Okay.
Huh. There you go.
So it's still been almost a year since then.
The Bang Bang Gang are not still Bullet Club. I'm sorry. It's over.
Yeah, Bullet Club doesn't really exist anymore. Sorry to all the Bullet Club truthers out there.
Yeah,
the group's kind of dead.
That old hoodie of yours, time to throw it out. Give it to the Salvation Army. Donate it. Make a patch out of it. Do whatever you want. It's over. We had a nice 20-year run.
I do like the War Dogs, but they're just kind of more known as like the War Dogs than
Bullet Club War Dogs. Yeah. Gabe Kidd made sure to kill that town. Good for you, Gabe. WWE Raw tonight. Milwaukee, Wisconsin at the Fiserv Forum. Fiserv?
I think it's Fiserv.
Yeah. Fiserv?
Fiserv.
No, Pfizer is the one that makes Viagra. Fishers? No, that's Indiana. That's the Dynamite's there December 5th.
Oh, okay.
Fister Forum? Fister?
Okay.
Fister Sister? The Fiserv Forum in
Fisting
Milwaukee,
forum.
Wisconsin. The Fisting Forum in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Get Alex Pulaski in here. He'll know. Sorry.
Jake's yelling at us right now. He's like, "You guys are speaking ill of the home of the Milwaukee Bucks."
So you definitely didn't see this, but this is the funniest shit ever. So TNA did the tapings, and they were in Minnesota,
TNA,
right?
I definitely didn't see it.
Well, but you said that's true. But you saw you got the spoilers. So the they were in Minnesota. That's where Wade's from. That's where Wade Keller's from. So he did an article about the little return. You saw this.
Yeah.
So, so not talking about the return, but he kept calling Steve Maclin Steve Cutler in the article. I'm just like, Wade, what are you doing? I just replied to Cutler. I'm like, sorry, it's Maclin. Your fault for not being born in Minnesota.
Poor Maclin.
Poor Maclin. And the thing is, like, you can't even get on Wade about it because Wade just is so disconnected
from
you can all things social. Like, you can reach out to him and tell him, but like he's so unbothered by it. So he won't apologize or be like, whoops, my bad. I doubt he's gonna ever change the article. I just found it hilarious that he just kept calling him Steve Cutler in that article that he wrote because he went to the TNA tapings.
It says Maclin on the giant Titantron there. Like, what the fuck?
Maybe he thought it was an SEO thing. We'll call him by his WWE name because people will know that. No, they won't.
No, I forgot he was Steve Cutler in WWE.
So did I. You could have told me he was Steve Maclin in WWE and I would have believed you.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Raw tonight from Milwaukee's Fisher. Anyway, 8 p.m. start tonight. It starts next week is 7 o'clock for a few weeks. Tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. AJ Lee is going to appear live. The other AJ Styles, AJ Styles is going to take out El Grande Americano. Which one? You'll find out. All three of them. Lyra Valkyria and Raquel Rodriguez. And the Usos reunite to appear. First time they've teamed up since that one time when they were abroad and Jay needed a tag team partner, and Jimmy just showed up out of nowhere, and everyone's like, "Oh, I guess we're doing this then." That was France last year? No. Going into Mania.
Yeah, going into Mania.
Was it Brussels?
Maybe.
Anyway, hilarious. The Usos reunite. Everyone's going to yeet down in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
That's us. We did it. We did it, Reddit. We did it another tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Talking about God knows what. Anything to plug?
Well, since they're in Milwaukee tonight, it's only right.
Yes.
No, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. The MVP of the NBA. I'm not making this up. For AEW Rampage, ladies and gentlemen, the Greek Freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's go.
Maybe Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's go. We'll show up tonight.
The Greek Freak. BT is back. They dropped a 6-minute video.
Not good for them.
It's called "We're Not Bums." It's good to know. Go watch it.
Debatable.
Or don't. I don't care. Enjoy your wrestling, or don't. Get outside, or don't. Just be good to each other.
Appreciate everyone in the chat today. I know the start was, not the most heartwarming thing in the world, but I appreciate everyone chilling with us for 2 hours, and I apologize for the start. And it got better as the show went on, and now it'll just be back to normal. So
I think the best part about this community that we have is that transparency is reflected, and we'll talk about it as much as they'll talk about it with us. And when we talk about it, everyone knows it's okay and normalizes it. So thank you. Vulnerability is not always seen and not always respected the same way. So thank you to Jeremy, and thank you to the chat. It was a tough start to this morning, but I think we had a good chat. We'll do it tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Jeremy and SB3. Ladies and gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.